Hello everyone. Kalmuk's Quest, Onoktin, Njao Kukpi7. My Indian name from my great-great-grandfather is Big Voice That Speaks the Truth. I'm the chief of the community of Kukpi7 of the Kukpi Nation. I'm also one of the tribal chiefs of the Kukpi Nation. I bring you greetings on behalf of Kukpi Roseanne Kashmir and her Kumipala. That's her council, her survivors, her Stetliam, her elders, and their children. Kukpi Roseanne asked me to come here on her behalf because ever since this news broke, you can imagine the amount of pressure she's been under as a chief. And it's like those little ones whispered, "They found us. They found us." 215 babies. Could you imagine the horror of discovering that? And those little ones showing themselves at this time in our history. So the responsibility of the Kamloops to Kukpi, because it's right on their lands, they have a responsibility as Yukomintan caretakers. And they're doing everything they can to ensure that the 215 children plus, because there's more, find their way home. One of the first things that we did is we did a ceremony as a Kukpi people, the Kamloops in the center and us around them as spiritual leaders. We opened up the north-south because if we understand our ways, as our spirits travel to the south, that way, to the Milky Way in our stories with the Star Nation. So that's been opened, and what we're doing is we're inviting other nations in, because it wasn't just Kukpi people, it was also other nations, children were there. And the Kamloops is organizing that in such a way that people can come in and do their ceremonies to welcome their spirits back home. I was walking around being introduced to the elders, and one of the elders told me, we need to pray for those spirits, for those little ones to return home. So these little ones have done that, and Kukpi Roseanne, in talking with her and helping her, I was asking her one day, have you eaten yet? And she was talking about she's so busy she doesn't eat till 10 or 11 o'clock at night. Her council, the same thing day after day. I said, you better look after yourself. We'll help you. So we're stepping in as a Kukpi of the Kukpi Nation, and other nations are stepping in to help them. And what you're doing here is helping. Because it's not just the Kukpi, it's all of us. When the news broke, it took such a toll on all of us. I lost a week of time. If you understand post-traumatic stress disorder, when that comes back to you because of what's happened in our childhood and our life, you sort of get lost in that. And a lot of people have been lost in PTSD reactions and not understanding it. That's why I really thank the Carrier Sakani, Mary and Warner and the organization for what they're doing here for you. Providing healers and help, because you need to let that go. Those children, as the regional chief TG said, it's the act of genocide of Canada and British Columbia, not just Canada. They use their laws to kill us, to kill our children. It's called the Indian Act, the residential schools. all the things they've done for 150 years. So today, as we stand here and we mourn the loss of ourselves as children and the loss of our brothers and sisters and our children and our cousins and our moms and dads and our grandparents, your ceremony to wipe the tears and let go is really important. But understand, in death, it is about a celebration of life. Each and every one of you here, it's about your life and contributing and continuing the life of your forefathers. In your blood is thousands of years of knowledge on this land. Your language, your ceremonies, your songs, all those things your people practice, it's still in your blood. So remember that. Part of our history is the residential schools, when we had thousands of years where we lived as proud people. People that survived off the land, that had our own laws, had our own language, had our own customs and traditions and songs and dances. So when you call your children back, call back your songs, your language. All of those things that have been lost, call them back to you, to your communities. That's what they took. Call it back. It is ours. It's who we are. This rattle here, you can't see it, but what it is deer hooves, little deer hooves. And my friend, the former chief of the Cumberlands, Manny Jules, made this for me. And he said to me, when you speak about the missing, bring this out and call them to be with you. And so as we're here today, they're with us. As Regional Chief said, all these places they call residential school are now sacred ground. Our people are here, right here. And other places around here you don't know yet, but you will find them. Little ones showed themselves at this time in our history. Canada and British Columbia used laws to take us off the land, but they waged war on our children. Think about that. They waged war on our children. Little ones. When our grandparents and parents and aunts and uncles went there, they were little. They weren't adults. They waged war on those little children. So you survivors that are here today, I honor you. And I ask you this, let us carry the burden with you. You've carried that burden long enough. Let us pick you up and wash the grief away from you. Take that pain and hurt and help you with it at this time. Let us help you heal. Let us help clear that path for the future, for those yet unborn. It's important. So Kukpi Roseanne, she sends her greetings to all of you. She wish she could have been here, but she's got duties to do. And tomorrow, Aboriginal Day, June 21st, solstice, a change of seasons. And if you're watching the sun, you would have saw two circles around there. It's pretty interesting. They intersected with each other. You would have seen that from the south, the clouds are going north-south. So it's opening up for us, people. All of us as Indigenous people on this land are stepping forward. So I encourage each and every one of you, young and old, to heal yourself so you may heal your families, heal your communities, and heal the nation. For Canada and British Columbia, we honestly need you to get the hell out of our way. We have laws. This is our land. These are our resources. This is our water. We want it back. It's who we are and it's what we deserve. Enough. We have had enough. Things are going to turn from this time on for all of us. So your great-great-grandchildren will speak the language, sing your songs, do your ceremonies, and be free on your own land and not be put in jail for it. So I thank you again for this time to say these few words. And Marlene, my partner, where are you, Marlene? She was here. She was handing you out little tobacco ties, orange tobacco ties that were made by the people of Kamloops. So if you can use it in your washing of tears when you burn it in the fire in the east. Prayers to those little ones. So Kukpi7, I thank you. Just one thing before we brought gifts here for the chiefs and elders. We're going to be handing them out. There's tobacco, and we've got a blanket here to blanket the chief of the community here. And in it, I'll just I'll just read to you what this blanket is. Kamloops Teskwapan is the ancestral name for the people who lived in the area since time immemorial. Kamloops means where the rivers meet, or the confluence. A creative but not entirely literal translation. The two main tributaries, the South Thompson and the North Thompson, join at the heart of the Kamloops and flow into the Thompson River into the Pacific Ocean. Our people are designated as Sokwapan Uli, the real Shuswap, due to our economic and military strength as well as our ancestors' pivotal role in the creation of peace accords. We're one of the remaining 17 communities of the Sokwapan Nation, and as part of the Salish language family. At the time of the initial contact, there were 32 communities, and our nation occupied a vast territory encompassing approximately 180,000 square kilometers, within which is now known as the interior of British Columbia. Sokwapan Ulu is the Sokwapan land and our ancestral land. Our people are rooted to this land through lineage, customs, culture, ceremony, traditions, and most importantly, Sokwapan, our language. Sokwapan laws of kinship based on respect strengthen our relationship within our communities and neighboring First Nations. The ecological, cultural, linguistic, and social messages encoded in the word Kamloops. Plastum means two things coming together at an angle. And we added it to Sokwapan, includes the Sokwapan division of the Sokwapan Nation, describing visually the imagery and the Sokwapan sense of pride of the Kamloopsum. It is here that the Kamloopsum lives since clusters of Keystons or winter homes during the cold winter months. Our ancestors fine-tuned ways of communicating our history and connection to our territory through understanding and describing Sokwapan Ulu. Our languages defined and influenced our relationship to our territory. Our understanding of our environment shaped our laws, protocols, and ancient history, which in turn passed on the intergenerational transmission through our ancient stories. Recent arrivals to our territories could not pronounce Kamloops. In that word, Kamloops was used, became the colonized name for our homeland. Kamloops to Sokwapan Ulu continues to be the economic significance and major traffic and trade route. As the Yukuminpan, caretakers and guardians of the Kamloops district, we are the original spokespersons of the land. Our people have lived here for so long, the time of occupation extends beyond the reach of memory into the realm of our oral history. For the Sokwapan, the act of giving a blanket is an honor, second to the significance only of giving an eagle feather. It is a testimony to the importance of the impact on your community. As you cover yourself with the warmth of this blanket, please use the blanket in good health with the wishes of the Kamloops to Sokwapan. And so this blanket here is representation of the Kamloops and the Sokwapan, the Kamloops to Sokwapan, and where the residential school resides. And we wanted to blanket the chief here with this blanket at this time.
Councillor Teresa Nuski will be accepting the blanket on behalf of Chief Larry. Okay. Okay.
Okay. Chief Wayne would like me to call out the chiefs that he would like to present tobacco to. Chief Robert Michelle Stalata. Right here. Chief Karina Leween, Cheslata Carrier Nation.
Sneaking up.
Ronnie Alec, Lake Babine Nation. Run, Ronnie. Yeah.
Marathon.
Martin Louis, Notley Wadan.
Just like you.
Golden Girl, Rita George, Wet'suwet'en First Nation. St. Cloud, Marilyn Vickers from Sycas.
Give me back to make me watch
Can we have a representative from Tseke?
Your sister?
Regional Chief Terry TG. Wilf Adams, OPAT. Oh, they grabbed
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Kathy Ulrich.
You could boss me around. Good to meet you. I've never met you, but here. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Colleen Nice. Colleen Nice. George Senior. Taylor Bacharach.
You, sir.
And our very own Moody Cha, our CEO, Warner Adam. Chief Wayne gave me the birch bark basket.
Okay, just stay up here, Wayne. I'm going to ask CEO Warner Adam. Bev. Chief Robert.
Thank you, Mary. Denise Zakuze, Skyze, Masai Kwano, Disney, Jane, Laneso, the Dan, Banis Kak, Nabinle, Sokni neighbors, Deli, Wani Ekpa, Kukpi7 Wayne Christian, Jane Annie Bezadini, Nohle, Noti Dakhiresh Chefwani. Epulads on the Lejac Wayne Malays, Binines the Dekas. Chiefs, hereditary chiefs, and children of hereditary chiefs, once again, thank you for coming and sharing your stories and your hurts, and also to lift those children that did not return home into the spirit world. And on behalf of the chiefs, hereditary chiefs, elected chiefs, we'd like to honor Wayne and his people for leading the way. His words were quite fitting, and this blanket is the big medicine blanket. Many Native American tribes consider the return of the white buffalo as a fulfillment of the ancient prophecy and as a powerful sign for a time of great rejuvenation in their lives in Mother Earth. Isn't that fitting? So Wayne. Again, from the Carrier Nations to the Secwepemc Nations, Masai.
Thank you. Again, all our ceremony, even when we're gifting, that's part of our healing, and it is so strong and powerful. So once again, thank you, Kukpi7 Christian.